It is finally time. You guys have wanted me to do this for so long, like so long. I'm finally doing a full house review of Parfums de Marly. Yes, I'm finally doing it. Now, I don't have every single fragrance from the Parfums de Marly line. I have 27 fragrances in total, and I have, let me just count them. I have 16 Parfums de Marly fragrances in my collection, and I'm so excited to talk about them. So basically what I'm gonna do, guys, is just kind of briefly go over the fragrance of how it smells and whatever, and notes and all of that sort of stuff, just kind of briefly, because otherwise this video is gonna be hella long. And then I'm going to tell you guys what are my favorites from the house and which ones I don't recommend. Obviously I own all of them, so I love all of these, but I'm going to tell you guys like the best of the best. Maybe I'll give them a rating as well. We'll see as we go along. I never plan out my videos, so we're just going with it. I am going to disclaim this right now because I know I'm going to get comments about it. Guys, I genuinely love Parfums de Marly, and they are hands down my favorite niche fragrance brand. My favorite designer, oh, that's a tough one. I'm not going to go there yet. But my favorite niche fragrance brand is genuinely Parfums de Marly. I have honestly loved every single fragrance that I've tried from them, and I've been extremely impressed and have fell in love with almost every single fragrance. And I'm not just saying that. I can say that this fragrance is terrible and don't buy it. They're not, it doesn't matter. I can say what I want. I have my own voice, but like I said, I genuinely love Parfums de Marly, and they're easily one of my favorite niche brands. I love all of the fragrances, and I just wanted to say that before going further because I know I'll get a few comments like that. I don't even know where to start right now, guys. I may just tackle the women's ones first. Yes, I'm gonna do that. So I'll just grab any. The first one that I'm gonna talk about is Saffenad. I've talked about this one quite a lot on my channel because I think it's a fantastic fragrance. To me, this one works the best in the spring and summer months. If I had to say one thing that I'm disappointed in this fragrance, there's not a lot to be disappointed in, but the longevity isn't amazing, and it does sit a little bit closer to the skin. I have noticed with most of Parfums de Marly fragrances that they're incredibly long lasting. Saffenad is probably has the worst longevity out of all of the fragrances that I'm going to talk about today. It definitely has like the least projection and the least longevity, if that makes any sense. But the scent is so beautiful. It lasts about 5 hours on my skin, so it's not too bad. But I love the way that it smells so much that I don't care. I will top her up and I love it. It smells to me, I've said this before, but it kind of gives me a little marshmallow vibe. Like, if you like the fragrance like Dolce & Gabbana Parfum, you would definitely like Saffenad. They don't smell the same, and Dolce & Gabbana Parfum is a lot sweeter, like a lot sweeter. Like, it definitely has like this little kind of marshmallowy touch to it. I know a lot of people compare this one to Jean Paul Gaultier Classique. It's way better than Classique. It's got a lot more going on, a lot more complex, and it smells a lot better. Saffenad has orange blossoms. You can definitely smell the orange blossoms, and it's like a gourmandy orange blossom scent. So it definitely has some sweetness there. It has vanilla and pear, obviously orange blossoms. There's also amber in here. So it's a beautiful kind of sweet white floral, but a very approachable white floral. Like, don't worry, it doesn't smell like Alien from Mugler or anything that's too heady. It's a very approachable white floral with the beautiful ambery vanilla like kind of touches to it. So Saffenad, love her so much. Next we have my new favorite fragrance. Like, this one I only just recently got, and she is like becoming my favorite. Delina will always be my favorite, and Delina Exclusive, but this one is coming in second. This is Meliora. I was surprised that I liked this, just going off of the notes, because it has red berries, it has black currant in it, it also has vanilla, but I was genuinely surprised that I liked it because I know I've talked about this a lot now. I don't really like fruity fragrances. This is fruity in a very unique way, because usually fruit in fragrances turns very syrupy or very sweet or very juvenile, whereas this is like the most classy, kind of fresh and juicy way to do fruit. I would definitely say if you like black currant, this is like your fragrance. This, you will absolutely love Meliora. Honestly, guys, it is my favorite fruity fragrance that I've ever smelled. I think it just smells beautiful. So Meliora from Parfums de Marly, wow. If you're a fruity fan, you've got to check this one out. It almost kind of reminds me a little bit of hairspray. And when I first sprayed it on my skin, I noticed that straight away. It almost has like a bit of a hairspray smell, but in a really, really great way. It is such a gorgeous fragrance and it lasts a really long time. And every single time I've worn this one, I've almost always had a compliment. So Meliora, beautiful, beautiful, like fruity, kind of fresh, a little bit sweet kind of fragrance, and it's just gorgeous. These two puppies need no introduction. These are Delina. This is Delina, the original Delina here, and the Delina Exclusive. So you guys have asked me if I have the Delina Exclusive and what do I think about it. So I'm going to tell you guys today. Let's start off with the original Delina. I've talked about it so much. Oh, just so beautiful. Like, I am like lost for words, and it is easily my favorite fragrance that I've tried, that I've smelled, that I've worn, that I've got feedback from. Everybody loves Parfums de Marly Delina, and whenever I wear it, people compliment it, and it's just the best. Like, it is the best of the best. It's rose, it's peony, it's very plush and velvety and smooth. Like, it's one of the most smooth floral fragrances that I've smelled, but it has a tart rhubarb note in there, which definitely makes it stand out and makes it a little bit more unique. I know some people have said that, you know, I've read reviews and they've said like it's pretty basic, it's blah blah blah, and that's totally fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but I don't think it's basic at all. Like, it definitely stands out in my opinion. It has that beautiful rhubarb note that gives a bit of a tartness to it, a bit of a sourness kind of thing, like a sour punch to it, but it's also got the beautiful sweetness. I think it has vanilla in here, but it also has lychee, which is a bit of a fruitiness, which turns it kind of a little bit sweet, but it's not too sweet. We'll talk about the Exclusive, which is very sweet, in a minute. I cannot recommend this one enough. I think it is like the most beautiful fragrance. So let's talk about the Delina Exclusive and how do I feel about it. Now, I would say, if I had to say like the difference between these two, this one is like the Exclusive is way sweeter, so much more syrupy. The original Delina is like a lot fresher, and if you like fresher fragrances, like you like to smell a little bit more clean, a little bit more fresh, you don't like anything too heavy or too syrupy or too headachy or too thick, go for the original. But if you are a gourmand lover, or if you like really sweet fragrances, if you like La Vie Belle, and maybe not Black Opium, I'm not gonna go that far, but if you like fragrances like La Vie Belle that kind of are a bit fruity, syrupy, kind of sweet sort of thing, you are going to love the Exclusive version. It is, like I said, a lot sweeter. It still has the DNA of Delina, but it's, like I said, a lot sweeter, a lot more syrupy. If you guys want to know which one I like better out of the two, it is so hard for me to decide. It's so hard. Like, it's a really tough call. If I had to put a rating to them, I would say they're both 10 out of 10 for sure. But if I had to recommend them to you guys, I would say if you like fresher fragrances, go for the original. But if you like sweeter, more syrupy kind of things, go for the Exclusive. It has vanilla and rose and lychee, and it's just a lot more, like I said, I can't say it enough, it's just a lot more sweet and thick and syrupy. Both are absolutely huge compliment getters. I wore Delina Exclusive on Valentine's Day and it's absolutely unreal. So both of them are amazing and both of them I recommend. But if you had to get one, I've already kind of explained which one would be for you if you like fresher or sweeter. Next fragrance that I have here, I've never talked about on my channel because, like I said, it's a bit of a newer fragrance to my collection. And this one is Athaliah. Yes. That is all I'm going to say is yes. This one smells very expensive, very luxurious. Like, I see this one on a rich woman. I see this one on a little bit more of a mature crowd, whereas the previous 4 fragrances, or even the previous 3 fragrances that I talked about, Delina, Delina Exclusive, and Meliora, I see for a bit younger, like everyone, but they definitely target a bit more of the younger, whereas Athaliah smells like pure class. This one is powdery. This is a beautiful iris scent, but very, very high quality. Like, you can smell the quality in this fragrance, and the iris is just so beautiful and so beautifully done. It's very smooth, it's kind of powdery, it's definitely got a bit of a sharpness there. It also has orange blossoms in here and musk as well, and amber I think, but I definitely I've sprayed it on me actually as well today. The orange blossoms with the iris just smells absolutely amazing, and the muskiness as well. It definitely has a little bit of a freshness there. Like, it's not a really thick iris scent that's too creamy or too much, because sometimes iris can be very creamy and very heavy. It doesn't smell like that. It's got a bit of a sharpness to it. The orange blossoms definitely bring it and lift it up quite a bit, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So Athaliah from Parfums de Marly. It's also a little bit green, like I definitely get a little bit of a greenness there as well. A little bit aromatic too. So Athaliah from Parfums de Marly, I love it so much, and I recommend it to somebody that likes a little bit more of a mature fragrance. Next, this fragrance definitely gives me the similar feeling to Athaliah. They're both quite mature, classy, sophisticated. I wouldn't really call them sexy scents. I would call them more like sophisticated and classy. This one is called SEDLEY. Now, if you like tuberose and if you like powdery, creamy, luxurious kind of fragrances, this one is for you. I actually know a lot of men really love this fragrance. It is beautiful and it is very, very unique in my opinion. Like I have a lot of tuberose fragrances in my collection, but I don't have anything that smells like SEDLEY. Very luxurious, very creamy, very thick as well, and very powdery. It's got a bit of an aromaticness to it as well because it has lavender in it, it has tuberose, it has benzoin, it has a beautiful note breakdown. So oh, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, again, these two fragrances definitely smell the most expensive that I've smelled from the women's line. These ones smell very expensive, very classy, very CEO, very just beautiful and rich. They're both very rich fragrances. Okay, so my last one from the women's line that I'm going to talk about is one that has so much hate on it. And I'm not really sure why, because I don't need to keep saying how much I love these fragrances. I genuinely recommend every single one that I'm going to talk about and love them. But this is Darcy, and like I said, I don't know why this one has so much hate towards it, because it smells so fantastic, guys. This is a kind of patchouli, very, very, very patchouli kind of fragrance, but it's very sweet. There is a lot of patchouli in here. I'm not going to lie, you have to be a patchouli lover to like this one. But it's almost like a gourmand patchouli. Like, I'm not even joking, there is a lot of sweetness in here. It almost has a chocolatey note in here. Like, there's almost like a patchouli and chocolate kind of smell to it. A little bit fruity as well, and it's definitely got rose in there too. So please don't rule out Darcy just because you've seen negative reviews. I love to wear sweeter fragrances, and I also really love patchouli. I'm a big patchouli fan. So Darcy for me is like everything that I like in a fragrance. And I actually know, like for a fact, that a lot of you girls watching this that like the same fragrances as me will love Darcy. I do feel like this one is quite mass appealing and would appeal to most of you girls, because it smells quite familiar, but it smells freaking good. Like that's all I'm gonna say. So Parfums de Marly Darcy, guys, definitely check it out. I absolutely love it. It's like a sweet gourmand patchouli kind of fragrance. Like if you like La Vie Belle and all of those sort of scents, like the sweeter kind of patchouli sort of fragrances, you would love Darcy like a lot. But there's definitely a chocolatey vibe in there. Like I don't know what's going on, but I smell like quite a chocolatey note in there. So yeah. Okay, let's move on to the men / unisex fragrances, because I definitely wear like most of these here. So let's just talk about it. So the first one that I'm going to go into, I've talked about a lot. It is Eau de Jaune. I'm not going to go into it too much because you guys already know how much I love this one. Eau de Jaune smells like apple cinnamon pastries, apple cinnamon pie. It is hands down, if I had to recommend one gourmand to a man, if he could only have one, it would be Eau de Jaune. This is my recommendation to a man who wants to have a sweet fragrance. If I could only recommend one, it would definitely be Eau de Jaune. It's got cinnamon and honey and tonka. This fragrance literally makes me drool. Like it really does that. It's just absolutely, I'm not going to smell it again. It smells absolutely amazing. So like I said, I actually recommend that to women as well. I don't know why, but Eau de Jaune in my opinion is perfectly unisex. So next up, I'm going to talk about the equally as loved right here. This is Herod. Herod is just incredible, and again, this one to me could be worn on a man or a woman and smells so good. And I know for a fact a lot of you women have got this one because of me. Herod is one of my favorite tobacco fragrances ever. Like I have Killian Back to Black. I like Herod more than I like Back to Back. Like I really Really love how smooth this fragrance is. It is so smooth. It is definitely one of the smoothest tobacco fragrances that I've tried. It's got vanilla, it's got tobacco, but to me it's definitely got a cherry, like a cherry syrup kind of vibe to it. Like it really does. I definitely smell the tobacco in here, but it's not too overpowering, it's not too strong, it's not smoky. It's more of like a green tobacco kind of, but it's got all that kind of syrupy sweetness to it, which is just insanely good, guys. If you want a tobacco fragrance and you're kind of scared to smell like smoky or too much, Herod is just the best. You definitely hear a lot about Herod and a lot of people love it, but there's a reason for that. It genuinely is one of the smoothest, best tobacco fragrances that I've tried. So Parfums de Marly Herod, get on it. Okay, so next up is Godolphin. This one is more of a recent one to my collection, so I haven't spent too much time with it, I'm not gonna lie, but first impressions, and I've worn it twice, and obviously I love it. It's a fantastic fragrance, and it really does smell quite similar to Tuscan Leather from Tom Ford, but I've tried Tuscan Leather and I actually like Godolphin better. It's a bit more strong, a bit more present of a fragrance, so I have to recommend Godolphin just like a little bit more over Tuscan Leather. But if you like Tuscan Leather, you would love Godolphin. So how does it smell? It's very leathery, but it's very luxurious leather. I am very fussy with leather, and that note in general, it can bother my nose quite a lot, and I tend to struggle to like it. Very expensive, like car leather mixed with some fruit. It's a little bit aromatic. It's just absolutely phenomenal. So if you like leather, you really have to like leather to like this one, because it does smell very prominent on the leather note. I actually think that this one probably will work a lot better on a man. I'm wearing it and I'm loving it, but I do see this one to be one that would smell a bit better on a guy, because it's very sexy like that. So I would love to smell Godolphin on a man. I think it would smell expensive, sexy. Yes. So the next one that I'm going to talk about is definitely one that is slept on from the brand. I don't hear anybody talk about this one. I think it's a little bit more of an acquired one, because you really have to like patchouli to like this fragrance. But this is Shawn, I think it's pronounced, or I'm going to go with Shawn. Guys, if you are a patchouli fan, like I said, you really have to like patchouli, which I personally love patchouli. I'm really into it. This is just... oh, yes. It's got a certain like darkness to it. Like this is quite a strong, not quite, it's a very strong patchouli scent with a lot of spice. There is a huge amount of spiciness to this fragrance. Very high class, like it's very upper scale. Like I don't see this one on a boy or a teenager. This one is definitely for a man that wears a suit, maybe like 30 upwards. I think that they, like that sort of crowd, would just love this fragrance. It almost reminds me a little bit of Heritage from KALAN, but Heritage is a lot softer, more powdery, more subtle. This one is a lot stronger, but if you like patchouli, you will love Shawn. Like I said, this is a fragrance that I like because it smells very masculine, very assertive, very manly, and I love fragrances like that on guys. It's also got a lot of woody notes to it, but to me it's a spicy patchouli scent with some woody base notes. So amazing fragrance, like it really is. And like I said, this one's definitely slept on, but I see this one working more, like I said, for an older crowd or somebody that loves patchouli. It also would be beautiful dressed up in like a suit and stuff. So love it. I highly recommend that one. Like I said, you got to try it out, but if you like patchouli, you definitely love it. Galloway is one of my favorites at the moment. It is so, it's fresh, it's musky, tiny bit soapy, citrusy, fruity. It's just so good. I've been wearing this one to the gym, which I know, just like a few sprays, I know it's expensive to wear to the gym, but I've been getting so many compliments at my gym, especially from my receptionist. I've been getting so many compliments on this fragrance. This is a unique fragrance. I haven't actually smelled anything like this. Like, I know a lot of the fragrances from Parfums de Marly, they can kind of remind you sometimes of different fragrances, which in my opinion, like, I don't think that they're dupes of any fragrances. Like, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, maybe Godolphin smells very similar to Tuscan Leather, but I wouldn't go that far. But this fragrance, like Galloway, is very unique to me. It's such a great fragrance for the summer and spring months because it's very refreshing to wear as well. and it lasts a very long time. Like this one lasts for hours. As a fresh fragrance, it lasts forever, and I love it. Okay, Percival. Percival is one that got a lot of hate when it came out. Again, I don't really know why. It's not something that's crazy unique or something that a lot of niche freaks would like. I think that this one is very, very mass appealing yet amazing. And I'm not even trying to make you guys buy this one right now, but it smells beautiful. Aromatic, it's lavender, it's orange. This is a fragrance that I see every single man on this planet liking. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I don't think that a man could not like this fragrance, and a woman could not like this fragrance. I've said it before, but maybe people won't think that this is the best fragrance in the world, but I don't see anybody not liking it. It's very beautiful, it's very masculine, it's very refined and sexy and a little bit fresh, and it has a little bit of a sweetness. Like, if you like fragrances like Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme and La Nuit de l'Homme and Bleu de Chanel and all of those, you will love Percival. Like, it has that kind of aromaticness, a bit fresh, a bit sweet. Like, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So I personally highly recommend Percival. But if you're like a niche snob or you like the most weird and unique creative fragrances, then don't get it. But if you want a good smelling fragrance that's gonna get you compliments, that's gonna last a long time, and that smells sexy, yes, Percival is for you. Next up is Pegasus. Now, I've had this one for a while, but I'm gonna be honest, it took me a while to kind of get to know this fragrance because it's very unique. This one is very, very unique to me. It has a real like metallic note to it. There's definitely like the bottle. It just basically explains what's inside. It really does smell quite metallic and cold. Like, there's a certain coldness to this fragrance. This one has vanilla, it has a bitter almond note, it has lavender, but it's a very, very unique fragrance. Like, this is easily, like, in my opinion, one of the most unique from the line. It smells very different to me. Some people compare it to Hypnotic Poison by Dior. I don't get that at all. There is a real metallic note in this fragrance that you have to kind of get to know the more and more that you wear it. This one is definitely unisex. Like, you could, like, men and women could both wear this one. I see this one as a bit of like a clubbing kind of fragrance. Like, it's definitely got that kind of vibe to it. So Parfums de Marly Pegasus, I really like this one a lot. Is it my favorite? No, but I think it's a great fragrance. Like, it really is. It smells sweet, metallic, kind of cold. Yes, 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 yes. I think you guys know I don't need to go into Leighton that much because you guys already know how much I love it. I often get asked what my favorite fragrance is on a man. What is my favorite fragrance in the entire world? What is one fragrance, just the only one? If I could only recommend one for a man, it is Leighton. And that's just a personal thing. Like, fragrance is so personal. You guys are all gonna have a very different opinion to me. To me, this is like one of the best fragrances I've ever smelled. It smells so sexy. Vanilla, apple, aromatic, sweet. It lasts forever on your skin. Like, this one lasts absolutely forever, and it's a compliment magnet, especially with girls. Like, especially with girls. I have somebody that wears it that I know, and every time he wears it, like, it just drives me crazy. Like, this fragrance just smells that good. I actually have worn this one myself a few times. It's so sexy. Like, it really is sexy. I would definitely say this one is unisex. You could wear it as a woman or a man, but I do like it better on a man. Like, I like smelling this one on somebody more than I like wearing it personally. But like I said, best fragrance in my opinion. Like, if I could create a fragrance for a guy, it would smell something like this, because I love, like I've told you guys, I love aromatic kind of sweet scents that have a little bit of a freshness to them. So for me, Leighton is just perfect. And then finally, the last fragrance that I have to talk about is obviously the Leighton Exclusive. The Leighton Exclusive will definitely appeal to the more niche crowd, the more people that want something unique and different and creative and amazing, because it really is an amazing fragrance. Like, this really is incredible. It smells more rich. It's much more rich and decadent, whereas the original Leighton is still, it's quite a fresh scent. Like, there's definitely a freshness there, whereas the Exclusive is a lot more dark, a lot more exotic, a lot more rich. It has oud and coffee and vanilla and almond, and it's just, it really is amazing. You still smell the latent DNA. There's definitely the latent DNA under there, but this one is just absolutely killer. So Leighton Exclusive, I also recommend it and I also love it, but more for the people that really love collecting fragrances. If you are just a person that wants to smell good, get compliments, have a long-lasting fragrance, smell good for the girls, then get the original. So yes, I'm actually just going to quickly run through what my top favorites would be. So for the women's, my top favorites are Delina and Delina Exclusive. I would give them both a 10 out of 10. If I could rate the fragrances, I would give these two a 10 out of 10 easily. They are just the most beautiful fragrances that I've ever smelled, and they're what I want to smell like. So that is my rating for both of the Delina and Delina Exclusive. I recommend both. I love both. I don't need to keep going into it. My second favorite from the women's line is Meliora. Gorgeous fruity fragrance, like absolutely gorgeous. I give this one like maybe a 9.5, 9. Yeah, a 9. I'll go with a 9. Fruity, kind of fresh, juicy. And I would say, oh, this is so tough. I would maybe say either one of these. This is Darcy and Saffinad. Love them both. I'd probably give them both an 8. I just love them so much. And then coming in maybe like as my number 7.5 are Sedleigh and Athaliah. These two fragrances I think smell the most high quality. Like they really smell rich and expensive and amazing, but I don't wear them as often because I feel as though I can't pull them off as much. I could only pull them off in certain scenarios, whereas the others that I just mentioned I can wear a lot more. They just smell very rich to me and very like upper class, so I'd have to wear them in certain scenarios, but both are beautiful. If I had to say which one I like better, maybe Athaliah, then Sedleigh. Okay, quickly going through the men's. You guys know Leighton, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for sure. Okay, Leighton Exclusive, 10 out of 10 for sure. Herod, 10 out of 10 for sure. I'm sorry guys right now. Oajan, 10 out of 10. I have to. Okay, they're all my 10 out of 10s. Then I would say, oh my god, this is so hard. Maybe these three. Galloway, Godolphin and Percival, I would say are like 9s. I have to. They'd probably be my 9s, and then I would say Shawn and Pegasus are like my 8s. So the only reason that this one is my 8, actually you know what, this could probably be a 9 as well. Shawn is pretty good and it's very underrated. So I think I'll leave it there. I'd say like my least favorite is maybe Pegasus. So yeah, that is it. I'm so sorry that this video was so long, but it was long awaited. You guys all wanted to see a Parfums de Marly video, and I'm really excited that I could finally do this, and I really want to do more brand specific videos, talk more about a brand and the fragrances and stuff like that. So let me know if you like this video, give it a thumbs up so I know if you guys want to see more of them, of like brand specific videos, because I really love doing this. Although it was long, I love doing it. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!